sure. It was like a hustling job. I took the job because I worked there and I was in high school as well. In different phases and no one else
And we are on. Go ahead.
So can I talk now?
Sure.
All right. So I was about to ask you. So what are we supposed to do in podcast? Like, who are the guests?
Okay, Amir's answer was your answer. I have a different
No, go
answer.
on, go on.
You sure?
Yeah, sure.
Can you hear me by the way well?
Yeah.
Okay. So what by the way, you can just leave, you can just pick up the microphone whenever you want to. You don't need to hold it because your arm is going to get fucking stiff. So what I think, the conclusion that I reached, I was at a bar and Onat, who was actually on the podcast,
Who?
Onat, a friend of ours,
All right.
he asked me this very same question. And one thing that I realized is why I became interested in the podcast and why I actually now would really like to keep doing this. Let's say the aim, first of all, right, of the podcast and why this is going on. Well, usually what do happen on most podcasts and what kind of podcasts do we know of mostly? What kind of podcasts do we listen to mostly? We listen to podcasts by most and many. What?
Cause you're like,
What?
keep going.
Okay. Most and many famous, well-known, semi-known, relatively known people, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not. We have to solve this problem.
What's the problem? What is the problem?
I think this one's there. Whenever you were talking, we would move it there.
Okay. Look, it's recording really well. It's recording actually really high.
Okay.
I mean, you might not really hear well, but I'm controlling it from there, so it's fine. There are, Al, starting from you to so many other people, each one of you guys, first of all, has a wonderful, amazing, extraordinary, and very interesting story. And each one of you has also a very deep enough character. Now, we might argue and we might not agree in many senses, right? But still, you have your own story to tell. You have your own thoughts to tell, and so does every other friend of ours and every other person that we meet and we would like to talk to. The other thing is, imagine yourself at this, well, you were at the party with me a couple months ago at Garga's house, for instance, right?
Yeah.
There weren't many people, but there were a couple people, right?
Yeah.
So how do those parties go? First of all, it's mostly either superficial talk or small talk, unless somebody gets fucking drunk. And then those two people are going to just, go go off and talk separately.
Are we allowed to curse?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, but here, you're welcome to fucking talk as much as you want.
Mm-hmm.
And talk about anything. I mean, sure, you would want to be careful about what you want to say, because this is going to stay, and it's going to be part of you and part of what you've said recorded, right? But I mean, here, you can talk about anything you want, about anyone, about anything you want, and about topics that you would love to talk. And it's also an interesting experiment. You're going to listen to this yourself, Mohammed. You're going to listen to yourself in 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, and you're going to compare.
What a dipshit I was back in the time.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, is this the pilot episode right now?
No. By the way, just try to get a notch closer to the mic.
Is this a pilot episode?
I think we're good like this. You can, yeah. Okay.
Okay. And the second, hello. We forgot to say hello, yeah.
Hello.
And the second answer.
It's not, by the way, a pilot episode. This is the fourth. Well, it's the fifth, I think.
Fifth or fourth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, the second answer. Most of our lives, we're just thinking about some ideas. So for me, this podcast is taking some actions and also giving the opportunity to other people to talk about their thoughts. So they may start something and reviewing some memories and blah, 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 blah. It's actually doing something instead of just staying in bed and thinking about our thoughts.
Actually, that is real. I mean, thoughtful of yours. Like considering this situation and like being able to somehow, let's just say, like we come up with a topic, right? And all of a sudden we start to brainstorm or we come up with the ideas. That is like literally genius. Like,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, that's what I thought.
Also, like, you know, like all of us would definitely one day love to like have a podcast, but if
We're gonna
somebody
do
had to-
reminisce with these things.
somebody had to fucking step up, right?
Yeah,
had to step
yeah.
up and
Yeah. Now we are
Like,
here.
man, I just gotta say this thing. Like, couple of days ago, I was thinking about you. All right,
oh,
about your
I was
life.
thinking about you too.
No, Jesus Christ,
What, you
that
were
is
jerking off? What do you
that
mean?
is nah. Hold on. You didn't let me finish. What I'm trying to say is just like this guy right over here next to me. He had a tough story back in the time, and I was thinking one day this guy's gonna become famous if he moves forward like in the same pattern that he's doing right now. Like I was thinking like making a documentary of this
not
guy.
exactly the same, hopefully.
Yeah, sometimes he's like you know, like giving up. I don't know, some nihilistic Emil Duran level shit. Nah, I'm not into that thing. But like considering like if he moves forward, the same passion that he has for music and the same passion he has for like piano, if he goes up like this, I'm gonna stand up and make a documentary for this guy. That would be just like, you know.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. And
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting idea to make a documentary of anyone.
About Arvo Part's young years.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
By the way, like, can you check your mic for a sec? But so, what do you think about the idea of well, having a podcast firstly, and also like being part of podcasts? I think this is your first time being part of podcasts, right?
Yeah, it is. And actually, first of all, I want to say that my English is not as good as you guys.
Oh, while he's making correct sentences.
No. You know, not grammatic wise. Mostly, my vocabulary is very little. And yeah, about my opinion, I think that recording ourselves in this moment, in this time, and looking back, I see some memories of me lurking about something that I found really interesting and really important in my life. And then 2 years later,
Try to just a little bit closer.
yeah, and 2 years later, when I thought about that matter, I thought to myself, oh right, yeah, that was fucking bullshit. I spent like a week on it. So yeah, definitely
I'm in it.
yeah, trying to record ourselves by any means, podcast or even captured pictures. Like I keep my pictures on my iCloud to remember all those memories and all those fights and all those things that I thought at the time are really important and really worthwhile.
Yeah.
But then it's like the book. You read it each year and you find out that it means totally something else, and it looks at the world from totally different perspective. So yeah,
Well,
I think it's brilliant.
By the way, I got a question here. Like, somehow, like, I got some kind of assessment on this guy over here. Like, we've been friends for, I don't know, 4 years or 5 years right now, and we've been living together for 2.5 years right now.
Yeah.
I was about to ask you this thing. Like, somehow, based on the knowledge that I have about you, is you're type of a guy that you like to keep everything.
I'll try to speak into the microphone.
Yeah, keep everything low profile about yourself, right? To be successful, to be big enough one day, but not mentioning about that thing, right? So right now, how does this feel about you talking here, about your life somehow?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
You do hit me also as a pretty reserved person.
Yeah, actually I am. About that ideology being famous and important, but not caring about it. Not even famous. being important in a role in the world and change something without.
He was joking. It's okay. You can make that sound when you're drunk.
All right, let's go on.
Sorry.
Let's keep on.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, that is one of my ideologies to, keep it low profile but have an impact in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying my best. I'm not talking about big things like changing an industry or something like that. Maybe one day, but even little things, change something, but don't blow it in other people's face. And you don't, it's the satisfactory. I think people who try to be, show themselves everywhere and be in every news outlet needs others' approval a little bit. And I think I'm trying to,
To stay away from getting others' approvals or approval, or to get other people's approval.
No, to stay away from it, definitely, because I think that we are stronger if we don't care about others' opinion, not in a literal sense. I mean, in a destructive sense.
Well, let me ask you about this. Well, the three of you, but it's kind of related to you, Al.
Okay.
So it was one of those nights that we were writing, and I wrote a sentence. I didn't read it. I just saw it yesterday when I found my notebook, because the last time we wrote together, if you remember, I couldn't find the notebook, and I actually wrote in my German notebook. And anyway, I found the notebook yesterday, and I saw that I'd written something. خودت باش ولی oh my goodness, I don't. It was something. So I can't remember the exact sentence, but it was well. If I articulated well, it was be yourself, but do not look from. No. It's fine. I mean, it's picking up everything.
You sure?
Yeah. If you can't hear it, well, it's fine.
My problem.
It's fine. Yeah. So it's something like, be yourself, but do not look from your perspective. I don't know why I do not remember when I wrote it exactly.
Could you say it again?
But it's probably one of the nights that we were writing, and I wrote that because it's right next to one of the things that I'd written with you. Be yourself, but do not look from your perspective. Basically, look from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I wrote it, but I seem to have been doing this recently more than usual. Not in a way that I would get easily distracted or potentially have, to have the potential to get distracted by other people's opinions and thoughts, but still just look at myself from the outside. What do you think about this? Like you said, you shouldn't care about other people's opinions. Okay, but shouldn't you look at yourself from the outside?
Good question.
Do you want to first answer?
You go, of course.
Okay. Well, that's a good point. Seeing yourself from others' perspectives, so you get a better sense of what you're doing and assess yourself. Basically.
Not just others, by the way. Just one
Other
from an outside eye, like from an
As a
outside.
third person.
Yeah.
Actually, I use that. I actually sometimes reach to a matter that I think that I need someone in a third person
Perspective.
Yeah, third person perspective to look at this problem and biasedly tell their opinion, basically. And yeah, that helps. Actually, what I meant was that you see, for example, you go outside. One day you have your breakfast, you go outside, and you come across your neighbor. He says, "Oh, what a beautiful jacket you have. Oh, all right. Where did you get it?"
Yeah.
And you get charged up.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Right
yeah,
away.
Definitely.
Yeah. And half an hour later, somebody walks up to you and say, oh, what the fuck? How ugly are your boots? I don't know. Yeah, why are you wearing those? You can't pull those off.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? And you immediately get damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it is very little and not worth considering,
Mm-hmm.
but it makes sinus,
Oh yeah.
and
And it starts getting like dangerous in a extent where it could become very easily destructive in any sense. You know.
yeah. I'm not scared of hearing the truth about me and being criticized,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, leveling that up and down to a point that I'm myself doing what I believe it is the best I can do,
Mm-hmm.
and others could have their opinion as I have my opinion. For example, for music or for I think that movie is good, that movie is bad. Everybody have their own opinions
Mm-hmm.
on stuff, but that impacting my work and my job and my life, that's what I'm trying to preserve.
I see. Amir.
You put on his head.
Okay. First of all, it is not just the third person. We need lots of different ideas because each person has a specific idea, a specific perspective. So, if I want to know how's my job, how am I doing my job, I need to ask more than one person. I need more than one perspective.
Do you mean literally asking or figuratively asking?
I'm surely I'm not
Okay.
talking about, okay, what do you think?
Yeah.
How am I doing? Yeah, so it's not just one person. We need to talk. But talking about ourselves doesn't mean that we are showing something to other people. We use some special words, sentences. For example, I think. When you start a sentence with I think, it proves that you are not showing something. You are not proving something to other people. So it is not showing off or exaggerating your achievements. This is the first part. Second, everything is not that black and white. That, okay, your coat is good, but your boots is ugly. So talking with other people helps us to understand, but it doesn't necessarily change our ideology about life. Yeah. So we need to understand other people's idea, perspective, talk, and blah 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 blah. But it doesn't change anything actually. We just need to be sure about the word maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, for example, Sam tells me your face doesn't show the reality of your heart,
All right.
and I'm not aware of it. So I need to talk about myself with a person like Sam.
Ooh. Okay, now we're talking. Now
Happy
you can hear me better
birthday.
now, can't you?
Happy birthday.
Okay.
So,
Sorry.
I don't know what just
You
happened,
said
but the
Sam.
quality of voice is much better.
Oh yeah. Well, I forgot to put. It was on Omni. I forgot to put it on like the switch where both sides of the microphone records.
I
it
don't
was
know
on
what you're
Amuno, what?
Omni.
Omni.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
So yeah, talking about ourselves, it's not just for showing off. We talk about everything, even though we are sure that we can't share the same thing, the exact thing that we want to show. We want to talk.
What do you say on this? How many phones do you have, for fuck's sake? Do I have to take every phone?
No. I was about to take a note about this thing because when Muhammad was talking, I thought about something, and when Amir said somehow it enhanced my radius of sight. Technically, I want to mention about two things about this thing. see, I'm not a philosopher. I'm not a like wise ass. Like I don't want to like be so. Let's just say, I don't know, pragmatically. So, let's just say, like what do you say? What is the word? Like a
As he is
theoration or something.
wise,
Like something.
wise ass was a good word.
Yeah, that's the yeah. I don't want to try to do that. But what I think is just like so once I was reading a book, it said like about like a
Which book?
I don't know. I don't remember it specifically. And it mentioned about like a connection somehow. At first, when we started like a talking, like whatever you want to call it, talking, conversation, confabulation, like somehow the connection. Like since we are social, we are going to need this thing. Like living is going to be somehow like dependent on this thing. We need to hear opinions. We need to hear like other perspectives. We need to see other sides. However, the other like a guy said, for example, like I said this back in the time many times, like if you bring two painters with same supplies and two same canvases and you put them in front of a lake and you ask them to like draw the same thing. Well, yeah, exactly about these paintings.
Yeah, that's the same fucking
Scenario.
view. I mean, we took the same fucking view, same time.
Yeah, I
same
mean,
place.
just look at them. Both of them are like a road or something. I don't know. But the
Well,
paintings
yeah.
are much different.
Yeah.
One of them is going to be like a cubist. The other one is going to be, I don't know, surrealist. The other one is going to be classicist or whatever the fuck. And like one of them is going to do sfumato. The other one is going to do chiaroscuro, something like this. And this thing happens. This is about the good part of it. So somehow we can use different perspectives and we can hear different opinions about this thing. And people can be good judge of our work. Like I don't give a fuck if it is like a castigation, if it is like criticism, or it's a good opinion or adulation or whatever the fuck. We need to hear all of them. See, for example, specifically, like the three of us, no offense, the three of us, like somehow we're interested about art.
Who is out?
Well,
Muhammad
because
doesn't like
Muhammad
out.
is not into art. He's
Yeah.
not, necessarily. Well, I've talked about this with him. I think programming will become much more serious anyway in the future, but still, well, yeah, I think it is some form of art that most of us, might have a hard time to accept.
Actually, like I heard this thing back in the time, since like they say we have 7 arts, right?
Well,
And the
they
graphic
say-
design is becoming the 8th art or something or something.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
anyways.
a little bit dogmatic to say just 7 forms of art, isn't it?
Like anyways. So what I was trying to say is just like we need to hear these things, either positive or negative, all right?
Sure.
But there is another thing which I heard from a good man. Actually, this guy
Thank
is
you.
one of not you, and he's an artist. This friend of mine. He said like there is something that's scary in this world, which is like everyone has their own opinion. Like when you like
I think with the birth of
scrutinize
social media, that triggered it way more, right?
somehow, yeah.
I mean,
everybody's
it
thinking.
it was scary, but then social media cleared it. That it is scary. That
What, as a
each person has a
catharsis
different.
or something.
Right. It was like a burst.
It was the
It
same
was like
thing.
an outburst of.
We
like,
weren't aware of it, kind of.
Yeah, basically, it was the case. It just wasn't shown well until social media rised.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't
Somehow,
know. I haven't
in the
thought
form
about
of a depiction that we
Like-
can see everybody has.
Yeah.
Like since the
Different
since
types
the
of-
beginning, we had the same thing, but it wasn't a problem. But then later on, we had newspaper, so some people showed up.
That is a
And
media
after
too
that,
somehow.
Then we had I don't know, radio. Then some other people showed up. Then we had television
and yeah.
showed up again. Then internet, letter, and blah 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 blah. Just internet and some platforms such as Instagram or Twitter or blah blah made it more clear. But we had it, but it wasn't a problem maybe because back then people used to hide their ideologies because of the culture, because of the religion, because of the lots of things. But now these days, the new generation, they are not in the frames. They fuck all the frames, and I'm so happy to be in this era. If something doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Shut up. Even if you are my family, my father, my teacher, doesn't matter. You are an asshole. I don't want to accept your idea, and done.
So like somehow you're saying like the trivia like existed back in the time and right now it exists and
It's just more.
only more people
It's
are
more
interested in it.
transparent.
Yeah.
It's more transparent. Yeah.
So yeah, somehow I like this thing and I'm scared of this thing at the same time.
Sure.
So when I want to ask opinions like from another person, I would go to a person with qualification. For example, like imagine I made a film, all right? I would come to directly show it to you because somehow you know about art. You've been like interested in this thing. You did something about this thing back in the time.
Back
Or-
in the time.
Yeah. Or like I don't know, like you read about it or whatever the fuck. Like I wouldn't go to a person who doesn't know shit about this thing, who likes to like do prejudice and stuff. Why would I like ask any opinions? Like they're gonna say, okay, it's good,
Your
it's
face,
bad. I don't give a
Mohammed.
fuck if it is good or
Dude,
bad.
okay.
Give me an explanation, man.
Okay, it is not about like if we are talking about art, for example.
Not figured, yeah.
Like for example,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to ask artists about art because sometimes some other people can see something else in art that we are not able to do it because
Exactly.
we have some frames in our minds.
Mm.
So if someone is not an artist, still I can ask something, asking for ideas because, like for example, actually art comes from life. We need art which is out of life.
To
Like for
subsist.
example, a photographer needs to live in the streets, needs to understand people, needs to see difficulties, needs to understand emotions and blah blah.
Needs
It's
to
same.
spectate.
It is the same thing for theater. It is the same thing for cinema. It is the same thing for writing. It is the same thing for music. So according to your experiences, you can create something. You can make something new.
It's sorry, Mohammed. I think it's not just people. I think there's a very thin line where between just hearing and spectating, as Al said, hearing other people and spectating, and becoming too obsessed with other people, especially people who aren't artists. But I think also studying yourself is very important. Exploring deep down inside parts of you that you still haven't really lingered on and you haven't really probed, and parts where you have kind of superficially what you look like a donkey.
Okay, since we all
Like-
believe in God, I'm sorry.
Since we all God, I know.
Yeah, I'm a believer. Okay.
That is blasphemy, man. That is harmful content. We gotta
Okay.
crop this thing out.
I'm going to change the sentence. I don't know if Muhammad or someone else said it, but anyway, I'm going to change it to another thing. The original sentence was, if you want to know God, you have to know yourself.
Aw.
So now I'm going to change it to something
Oh,
better,
Jesus, I thought
something
this Muhammad.
useful. No, like
Prophet.
Islam's Muhammad. Evet.
Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah. Okay. I think if you want to understand the word, you need to understand yourself. It is important.
Okay.
So deep down, blah blah.
Yeah.
Sam said.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, actually, what you guys said about the whole ideology that I was talking about actually was interesting. So I waited till you guys are done. But what I meant is a little bit different from what you guys said. My concern.
How dare you have a different
No.
opinion?
I think it's a miscommunication. over here,
I'm
'cause
joking. Yeah.
It's from my side,
Yeah.
because I was saying that if I died today, this moment, this right now,
Mm-hmm.
the thing that worries me is not that I'm either known, famous in any shape or form, or I've done something in my life for others, for the whole humanity. That's what concerns me most of all, and that's why I don't want to be famous. I want to do something actually. And about what you guys said, from my point of view, let me introduce you guys to the program inside of that. Actually, for example, first of all, I'm a very beginner programmer, so I'm not even a junior. It's just a web development. I'm into tech. I'm going to start, my university for at least 3-4 months later this year. So yeah, I cannot express the best point of view from a programmer side, but something I know is, for example, when I'm trying to design a website, the UI UX part, the interface part, the first thing that comes to mind after I'm designing this is go to a consumer, go to someone who's going to actually watch this, not a programmer, a consumer, to see how this makes you feel. Okay, this color, this shape, this, actually I think it's different in art, because if you go too much into people's opinion, it can make you something.
Question yourself.
No. Yeah, question yourself for sure, but make your product more people friendly for people.
That's an argument I've always had, and I very much agree with that. That's something that I hated, and I still do hate. Where
Okay, but you're talking about two different things.
Yeah,
No,
like
no,
come on.
Music and programming.
Yeah.
still,
Just
well,
like
That one is directly
someone,
connected to people.
like connected to people. But
should be,
like
I guess,
the
right?
moment that we say art is for art is not for people. Like somehow topics are different.
Yeah, but
Sure.
Because like if I'm going to like bring up something for market, like I would be just like Nicki Minaj. Like it's not like for art's sake actually.
Don't,
Okay, I
don't you
disagree,
dare-
but
don't you
let's
dare
wait.
Talk about my favorite singer of all time.
All right. Okay. I thought
Favorite
your
ass of
favorite
all.
singer is
Okay, Muhammad is talking. Wait.
Orcus.
Nicki Minaj is even a way better pianist than
Beethoven.
Than no,
Scriabin.
no. Than who was that?
Horowitz.
The person who wrote Harry Potter.
J.K.
J.K.
Rowling.
Rowling. Yeah, it's better pianist than J.K. Rowling.
They're not
Mohammed
pianists.
loves Harry Potter, by the way.
yeah, I do.
I love him.
I
also,
love
yeah.
Yeah, but looking from my point of view, for example, when you're designing a website, somebody with no ears are going to use that. Someone with problem with their eyes are going to use that website, or any sort of disability.
And 95% of people with a lack of patience.
Yeah, sure, yeah, and you need to consider all of them. At least most of them. To not that inclusive part, that part that for example you might the most basic part is the language bar in every website. Okay, for example, Amazon has different language part. Okay, you choose one of those according to where you live and what language are you're most comfortable with. For example, they don't have Farsi, they don't have Persian. They do have English, and I'm actually comfortable with English. Okay, so I go and choose that. That's a convenience. That's looking for consumers' opinion. So, what are they comfortable with? What is the most favorite language they use, or so on and so forth. So, looking it from others' perspective, in that point of view is it's part of my job. Actually, it's a research UI, research design. It's a job title actually. They hire somebody to research about that and see other people's point of view. So I wasn't talking about that, influencing. I was talking about which is most important: getting famous, getting well known, getting being everyone's favorite character, or doing your job, your job the best way you can.
Service.
Serve people, serve yourself. Yeah, sure. Why not?
I mean, as long as, well, I'm sure all four of us that at some point started and have been continuing to have some form of service toward a fair amount of people. I mean, all four of us have taught, for instance, maybe more than one language. Well, at least the two of you I know. I don't know about you, Mohammed, but Sure, service, for all of us, it does exist anyway. But in art, at least for me, and in my, well, I can't say in my arts because I haven't had any recently, but, if I do get back at it again and still, I think there is no service in it. It's just first and foremost me wanting to do whatever I want to do and experiment whatever I want to experiment with, and then later, well, we'll see. It's a very complicated subject. I can't really simply just fit it in a couple sentences, but I get you, and yeah. By the way, sorry, two things. Number one, we were like joking and laughing our asses off just like 2 minutes before we started getting into this and speaking in English, and especially this guy right here.
Mohammed? Yeah.
No, you. But I mean, now we're like talking like four presidents from France, Canada. Which country would you like?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Rera, my
Germany,
country.
and a country that still hasn't been found from another planet.
Mars.
That would be too good. That's too good for them.
Okay. So,
Oh my God.
first of all.
Second thing.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget what you want to say.
Okay.
Be
I hope-
precise.
I'm
Be precise. Jordan Peterson on me. Come on.
be Go for it.
Be precise. Jeez.
I want to ask Paul's question.
Jeez.
Do you remember the answer to the question?
Which question?
I couldn't understand the question. That was too far.
Okay. It was. I remember the answer. So.
Was it mine?
That was out of line.
We'll see. So, the question was how many? Well, the amount of energy that one person either consumes directly. It was. I hope I'm saying it right, and I hope I'm not butchering the point of the question, the point of the answer. But
I go
So-
for it.
so, the amount of energy that a person directly or indirectly consumes in a day is quite a lot. It's quite a lot, and we don't care about the unit here. The question is, how many people does it take for that one person, for that one you, that one me, to consume? How many people do you think serve you indirectly to help you consume that amount of energy in a day? Either through could be anything. The energy being consumed could be through anything. I think could be through turning. Well, you using gas, for instance, if you have a car, or if it's public transport, or if you're gonna buy some clothes, if you're gonna go eat somewhere, if you're gonna go and smoke some nargila, whatever. How many people does it take for you, Alfara, to consume that energy in a day? Make a guess.
Wow. So, am I gonna answer this theoretically or
Just
mathematically, or I don't have any idea about this thing actually.
I can answer. I can answer.
You can answer?
Answer. Even though I couldn't understand the question yet.
What was the question?
Like I've been
Today
thinking
morning.
about the question since morning, but still I can't understand the question. Like
I-
in my mind, there are
Let me
lots of
just
different.
ask him. Where did you hear this question?
Today morning, a friend of ours, he's interested in physics a lot, and he asked this question.
All right. So, what is the answer?
Make
Guess.
a guess. I mean, Mohammed.
Okay, that's a problem solving for
Mohammed,
me.
you're good at mathematics. Go,
yeah,
Tiger.
yeah, actually,
But it is physics.
you know, if you guys look at it from your perspective, art, I don't know, philosophy, whatever, the answer, the problem solving process might be different. For me, it's okay. we have gas, we have water, we have electric, we have our home which is rented. That's a service. We have people who, authenticate our permanent and impermanent residents here. Okay, that's 6.
Also,
And
Maj, think about every single thing that you buy from the market where, well, it either didn't exist in the past, or if it did exist, you would have to work hard for it. You would have to dig, literally, right?
Man, in
all,
that
all the farming.
case,
All the
Yeah.
farming.
Let's say that we have, we have 3 meals a day with at least 4 important ingredient or 4 major ingredients. Okay, 3, 4, and okay, each ingredient at least in this modern city at least gone through 3 to 4 people to get to us. Okay, so
And
Yeah.
also transportation. Transportation.
yeah, 4 people, at least 4 people. Let's see, at least 54.
you're calculating
least
it
four.
now.
I have to say, I'm very impressed because very quickly you just made a quick calculation and you made a pretty damn close guess.
Really?
Yeah, because most of us today morning we just guessed from our asses basically.
Yeah, I was trying to understand the question.
Yeah, Amir and Yeet's guesses were like 2,500 or above 2,500.
25
I
fucking
made a
hundred. Man,
guess
who the
of-
fuck are
I
you,
said-
Vladimir
I said-
Putin?
I said 15, but for no reason. It's 75 as far
75.
as I
It's
remember.
150.
In average.
No, 75. You remember it wrong.
Okay, anyway, I didn't understand the question.
Yeah, so technically,
Was it 150?
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
how many?
150.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
Seriously? Okay, it's not even close. And technically,
It's-
I said
well,
at
it's
least, but
1/3.
yeah,
You said
1/3.
1/3 of it
yeah.
with a pretty well. Look, you didn't say 2,500, and you didn't say 15. So that's
You're not good at math, man.
oh you had to be here today morning to see me calculate everything.
Jesus Christ.
Not
Okay,
I buy some snack
I'm going
from the
with the
shop.
last topic.
All right, let's go with the topic.
First of all, the previous one. Previously, and I'm lost.
Let's go to the topic.
So, okay.
Man, it's
Before starting talking about it, I want to say that I don't. Maybe I consider Van Gogh as an artist. I'm not artist. You are not artist. Sam is not artist yet.
Yet.
Because we don't trust ourselves. First of all.
Yep.
Second. I don't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm talking about it as a normal person in this word. Art for art or art for people.
Yeah.
This question made a huge gap between art and people, and that's why still the favorite book is Tolstoy, Anna Karenina, or other or
Lolita.
or yeah,
Aladdin.
exactly. And these days people are listening to someone called Nicki Minaj, for
Nicki
example,
Minaj.
or
Oh.
such a person. So it is a problem that we still, after many years, talk about art for art or art for people or blah 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 blah. In the end, we are doing something that we like, but talking about it makes, I think, a problem that it shouldn't be existed. It's not a big deal, but we talk about art for art and those kind of.
Gibberish.
Why do we talk about them even? Because those topics makes the people out of art, and art is so important in the life because, like for example, if we are talking about the technology, the phones, smartphones, laptops, blah blah, we had it like 50, 60 years ago on paintings, on something like, for example, traveling to moon. The first sci-fi movie was Le Voyage Luna, it's something like the French movie.
Loon or
Loon, yeah.
something. I don't know.
So-
Darius Millie?
So
I don't
art,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
art actually is making technology, is making social rules, is making all the things that we are using these days. But still, we think no, art for art. Art is not for normal people.
Alright.
It is definitely, since it's a much easier way to dream. Art, it definitely does have impact, either direct or indirect, and all these stuff. By the way, FYI.
Do you want to sit there?
I mean, can't you hear me?
No, I can't.
Oh, I don't know that.
Wow. Such a voice.
FYI,
FYI.
all four of us are, I would say, to some extent, old, because I don't really think Nicki Minaj is who's being listened to.
Seriously, that
these
is a
days.
topic, Nicki Minaj?
No. I just want
By
to.
far.
I just
we
want to
said
say.
the name 4
she
times.
she is an example.
I just. Yeah, but just,
Why would it necessarily be Nicki Minaj?
I mean, just no. I just want to
Okay,
tell you guys.
Rihanna,
I was
whatever.
I just
Doesn't
want to tell
matter.
you guys, we are so fucking away from the pop world, from the pulp.
Pulp world.
World. Yeah.
Yeah, that is much better. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Okay,
Like-
but if we
Have you, today I heard this name, Nina Lopa.
Nina Wu?
Nina Lopa. Apparently this person is
what is
like
that?
very famous. Apparently she's a singer.
Not
and
famous
she-
enough
and
for me
she's-
to know.
Well, I don't know her either, but she's very famous
where
Man,
in
all
the
right.
world.
About the topic that Amir said back in the time. Not back in the time.
Back in the
Jesus. All right, let me say it this
Back
way.
in the day.
Yeah. Hell, I got to tell you, back in the day, we were talking about art over here. No, not that much. But think about it. Like this word, all right, art, the so-called art, all right, has changed like in meaning. Like back in the time, like we had like let me talk about painters.
You really cannot live without the words back in the time,
Yeah.
can you?
All right,
you're
would you?
fucking the word.
All right, like we had Caravaggio, we had Jean Van Eyck, we had like Raphael, we got like Duccio.
Okay.
Guys like these were using like art, this painting, to somehow like praise the Lord, somehow as a way of like prayer. Johann Sebastian Bach, like they were using it as a like praisal, to like somehow praise the Lord. After that, it became a hobby. Like, I mean, come on, ask the same question. I don't know, something around 500 years ago. They would say like, okay, this guy is a man of a god. Like they're using this contraption or like somehow this skill or talent or whatever you want to call it to praise the Lord. Right now, ask the same question from young people. Like, I'm doing it for hobby. This is the like answer that you're gonna hear most of the time. I'm doing it for hobby. It's not even a job, as a hobby. So this world has changed in the meaning. Like, of course, the like purposes are going to be different as well.
Okay, wait. First of all, in this century, it is not just for third world countries. We have this problem all over the world. And
That's
now,
what I'm
an
saying.
artist is not like a doctor, like in the society.
Okay.
An artist is not like an engineer. An
Mm.
artist is not like none of them.
Mm.
Artist is artist. So if I love art, I have to hide it somewhere. So this is the first reason that if you ask someone, even if that person is so into art, would say, yeah, I do art for hobby. Because people are scared of showing or saying the reality. Because for a long time in the family, at a school, at university, and blah blah, people told that person, it is not a profession. Don't consider it as a job. It's not a good idea. Don't waste your life.
Go study your medicine.
And
You'll
yeah.
do art
Be an
on the
engineer
side.
like your uncle.
You'll do art on the side as a
Yes,
hobby.
Yeah, if
exactly.
you have time and
This
stuff.
is the first problem. And the second, if we are talking about Bach, he was following the society. Religion is part of the people. That's why they are, and they will be famous. Because they helped people. But now, what is our problem in the world? Thanks God that... how can we say such a thing?
Thankfully.
thankfully.
Yes.
Anyway, so religion is not a problem in the world anymore, but it was a problem. Like the last part of religion is Iran, is Afghanistan, is Syria, is
Yemen.
Iraq, is and this is the last part of religion on earth. After fucking IR, after fucking IRGC, after lots of them,
Wait, what's IRGC?
SEPA.
Oh, wow. I don't know they have a abbreviation.
Okay, after
The National
Happy
Guard, the
birthday.
Revolutionary Guards.
Yeah.
National Revolutionary
said it
Guards.
for you.
after taking them down, even in this part of world, the most third world countries like Turkey, Iran, and blah blah, we won't have that religion. So we need something else. We can't make something to praise the Lord, but what is the need of the society? We don't know it. That's why artists are Nicki Minaj, because they're entertaining people and people need it.
Man,
And real artists are in shadows and people don't accept them because normal people think that, okay, that artist is too high and I don't understand him. The level is different because we made a different level for artists and art.
okay, like about the same topic, like not necessarily about praising the Lord. Okay, like I'm not gonna like be a Muslim. I'm not gonna be like in this somehow, let's just say religion, but I'm gonna do art to praise the Lord.
No,
I'm not talking about that.
okay,
But
they didn't
for me,
consider it as an art.
okay,
They, like Bach, in my opinion, he was able to do it. So he did it for a purpose that he wanted.
all right.
But we are not doing it, like not we. Artists are not doing it anymore. Even in this century, after like many years past, still we are doing the same thing.
We are doing
And
the
we
same
don't
thing.
update the art. We
Okay.
have new kinds of the art. Like
Yeah.
for example, graffiti and other things. Digital pictures and blah blah. But still digital pictures are still about like portrait, about normal things. The meaning of art, the point of art, it is the same as it was 500 years ago, as Shakespeare time. That's why we prefer to read Shakespeare, because it was original and we don't want to read some poem from a person who was born in like 1980, because we didn't update it, the art.
Man, but about this thing, like the same thing you said, like Kehan Kalhor, all right, once said something. He said like the more serious art gets, the less audience will be interested in it. Okay, so thinking about a guy who's a real artist, who's like a avant-garde or whatever you want to call it, so serious about this, all right, and so somehow influential about. And like you said, real artists are in the shadows. Like they're not renowned, they're not prominent that much. But okay, considering that artist, that I'm talking about that artist, what is his purpose? What is his purpose?
Each person has a different purpose. Like for example, Mohammed is a programmer. I can.
Okay, saying the same thing that they have in common.
Okay, so we have one programmer who wants to make better things,
Mm-hmm.
who wants to improve the technology,
Exactly.
programming, and one person wants to do it in a way that help people. Okay.
That is all of them all
Okay,
like have
but
in common.
we don't have any artists who want to help people to reach a better level to understand another artist. Like for example, Mohammed says, okay, I want to help people. I want to make an user-friendly website to help people. And at the same time, someone else is making an improvement in technology for normal people. Okay, so Mohammed is helping them to reach to another level, and the other person is making another level for these people. But in art, either we have Nicki Minaj or either we have Bach. There is no one to connect these different levels. Even in artists, we have this problem. In artists, we have Alfred Hitchcock, or for example, we have Masoud Dehnamaki. We have no one
I
to
don't call-
connect this level to that level.
I don't call that person an artist.
He's not. He's an ass.
He's an ass.
Surely he's not an artist, but he makes some movies for the government of Iran. made, hopefully. Fucker.
I don't consider these people as artists.
They're
Like,
not artists.
What did you want to say about it?
Man, you wanna sit on the couch over there?
What did you want to say, Maud? You were about to say something.
Yeah. Actually, about the art. You know, I experienced this firsthand from my family. The first time I showed interest in playing guitar, my father directly felt a threat. Okay,
He what?
he felt a threat.
Oh, okay.
You know, to my future, to my
A threat
a threat. Yeah.
with a guitar.
He said that okay, you can play guitar, sure. You know, we're talking about Iran, and you're
You can be an engineer and play guitar in your free
yeah,
times.
actually, exactly. He thought, okay, yeah, you can. We have this. You can go and take your I don't know, bachelor's degree or doctorate in whatever you hold dear. By the way, that is defined by the society. And you need to be either a doctor or an engineer.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to get to that point.
Yeah.
Okay, from that point on, okay, do whatever you want.
Now you're accepted.
Yeah, now you're accepted. So go do what you want. So I persisted to no, I want to play guitar. This is not going to do anything in my future. I love programming. This is as I said, I don't understand art. I just enjoy it. I enjoy it.
What do you mean you don't understand it, but you enjoy it?
If you don't
the
understand
feeling.
it, you don't enjoy it.
No. For example,
No, we don't necessarily need to understand.
No.
You're watching something. If you don't understand, you don't enjoy it.
I mean, consider me. I don't know shit about music, right? I don't know what
You think.
No, you do.
You
do.
think you
to
don't
some
know.
extent, you do.
I just
let me explain myself.
Sure.
Have you seen that painting? Just the square.
Yeah.
Just a black square.
I mean, I could
Black
assume
Square,
it's-
Kazimir Malevich.
Yeah,
That's it.
that one. Okay. Why? Me understanding that. So why? Okay. Why
So
did you,
what?
what's the whole purpose of doing that? Okay. So,
Well, that's
A square.
well.
Any
Okay.
guess
What
about it?
Wait.
or going to. I enjoy abstract, paintings. I almost always use it on my wallpaper and stuff, but I never stand in front of it and say, okay, yeah, that color is this color is that.
Oh.
No.
Do
Do you
if it is
feel anything about it that you enjoy it?
only
Or
the,
do you have any guess? Or does it change something in your mind?
yeah, it does. For example,
That's
For
the
example,
point.
and no, I'm looking at it from a mathematical view. Like, for example, in our design programs, we have color palettes. Color palettes have, each color conveys a meaning. For example, okay, I use, for example, purple, I don't know, yellows, and those type of color. If I see, this combination of colors in an abstract, I download it and I put it in my background. Why? I think, okay, it feels more exuberant. It feels more alive, or it makes me feel better. Okay, that's the whole purpose. I don't understand why. I don't understand why they mixed it.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay,
That's
let
all.
me explain in technology
I have
point.
another.
I want to complete your
Sure.
idea, then we can continue. For example, in iPhone, we were talking today about it. There is a part that if you chat on WhatsApp, for example, with someone in Turkish language, the next time you go to the same person to write something, your keyboard will be Turkish. If you're talking in English with someone, your keyboard will be English.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
so there is something.
You didn't know that?
Man, I just recently bought an iPhone. It's
Okay.
my first iPhone, and
Okay, so there is
That's
something in
amazing.
technology that, for example, I understand some parts of it. He understands some parts of it. He understands some parts of it. But you understand better than all of us. But we understand something. Okay, so in website there are lots of things. On keyboard we can do lots of things. Like for example, for refreshing a page, for example, we can refresh it with mouse, or we can use some F5 or such a thing to refresh the page. Okay, so again, we are doing the same thing. We understand somehow something. This is the same thing for art. So, for example, let's say a normal movie, for example, Shutter Island. In Shutter Island, we have some symbols, but a normal person, for example, will understand the scenario. Another person will talk about the acting. Another person will talk about the voice. Another person will talk about the directing, and blah, 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 blah. And in the end, we have someone who understands all of them, plus the symbols of the movie. So it doesn't mean that if someone just understands the scenario, doesn't understand art.
So what you mean is like
Art,
depth
technology,
of the
yes,
vision.
everything has different levels. So you understand some levels, and that's it.
Yeah.
Microphone.
I totally get it. Actually, I just got a very basic understanding of art recently
Oh,
from this guy.
thank you.
What
Yeah.
happened?
We were talking late at night. That was the first point of about art in my whole life. What was it about? It was the first time my mathematical mind, which hates remembering stuff and loves to calculate stuff, understands the reason of existing of art, you know, the whole in general, and how it can affect people. The first basic thing. He said that okay, an art in a basic in a
Basic
Basic
meaning,
definition.
concept. Okay.
is showing the world from the eyes of an artist. You know, everybody looks at one object from different perspective and sees some other thing, like that elephant. You know, you get to a dark room, you feel other things. For example, he sees poverty, he sees, I don't know, whatever, consumerism, whatever. He sees that concept. Okay, it reflects, and he wants to show that reflection to others. Okay, this is my point of view, and I see it in that specific order. And that's actually why I get more baffled about those abstracts and all those square things. That baffles me. So, okay, artist wants to show their perspective of world. What is that? What does it show? What does it make me happy? Does it make me sad? Does it change anything in me, that square? Okay, if it does, oh wow, yeah, sure, I will got it. I'll get it. I'll praise it, and I'll cherish it for it. But if it doesn't, okay, what's the purpose then? I'm talking about those type of specific art. You know, the movies of the world, the music of the world, and even the piano, which
Why are you not talking about the emotional side? I don't understand that. Okay.
emotional side.
Okay, so I understand if anyone
Mhm.
would not want to even spend a second, like, having even a slight contact, having slight contact with contemporary art, for instance. I would understand that 100%. Contemporary art gets sometimes very weird, sometimes gets very
Abstract.
too absurd, right?
Sometimes,
and merely symbolic a lot of the times. But what about Chopin? What about when you listen to Chopin?
Man, not everybody understands Chopin.
It's
Like,
not. But
let me
it's
ask
not about
Muhammad. Let me ask-
understanding. That's what I just
Let
said.
me
that.
ask Muhammad.
Wait. I want him to answer my question. What about the emotional part? Chopin doesn't need understanding. You can just close your eyes and
See,
you will be moved. Just not even without considering what's happening harmonically or melodically or technically, how hard the piece is or whatever. Like by disregarding all of those, still you could get touched in a very deep and in a very heavy way emotionally.
man, back in the time, I was listening to Persian traditionals a lot. Once you asked me to send you a song from Paris Mishkatian, Do the Oud. You remember that one? Yeah?
Microphone.
Yeah, I can hear it. I know.
It's about recording.
Yeah, like it can hear it, I believe. Yeah. Paris Mishkatian, Do the Oud. Alright? So, like, do you play any instruments? Do you play like qanun? Do you know anything about like a Persian music, like dasgahs and stuff? No. But like, what was the reason that you told me to send it to you? Like, let's talk about that one. Why did you like that? Why did you want me to send that music to you?
Okay, we have two questions. I remember yours because this one is shorter. That specific music make whenever I listen to that music, I think of Isfahan, my birthplace.
Reminisce.
It really takes me from wherever I am and puts me there. So I love that music. That's why I asked you to send it
Okay.
to me. And about your question, yeah, actually, I talked about the type of art that has a purpose and shows me something and even makes me feel something. For example, I go listen to Paris Mishukatian, for example, and go through it. Okay, yeah, it actually I think not talking about this literally, but it is one of the doors of heaven, our ears. It can transport us to a place of pure joy in a second, and our eyes for the painting and so on and so forth for the movie. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the part that the artists I think cherish the most. Those, I for example, those things I just talked about.
The painting.
The paintings or some specific type of music that I don't get at all.
Like what kind of music do you not get?
Like those screams in the metal.
I think Al could explain that to you very well.
Yeah, he does. But after he explains it, I don't get it. Why should they scream it?
Did you know he has another side?
This side is enough for me.
One side is more than enough.
I consider that as a compliment. Thank you.
Diyorsun.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. We were like one of the bitchiest moves in Turkish, the Turkish language is like, Al, tell me something, like tell me anything you want. Tell me a sentence.
In Turkish?
Yeah.
I'm gonna quit on
No. Tell me a statement.
Statement.
Not cussing, but tell me something about something. Like, I don't know, like the weather is gonna be rainy tomorrow or something like that.
Yarın yağmur yağacak.
Diyorsun. It's like such a.
I don't like diyorsun.
I don't like it either, but it's fucking passive aggressive.
There's another one that I like. Come on,
It's-
tell me something. Give me a statement.
Like in the same
Yeah.
way. Okay. Bence biz bu programı bir şekilde değiştirmeliyiz.
Falan. That hurts. Falan.
Okay, that's a little bit more aggressive, I would say.
Diyorsun is
But diyorsun
Diyorsun is more polite.
passive aggressive.
Falan.
You say.
So,
Back to the topic. I do still like have this question of like, well, how come I've never seen you talk about it or listen to it, for instance, classical music. Classical music is not like the square, right? And there are so many thousands of different styles and different musicians, starting from, even before the Baroque era, but let's say from the Baroque era till the late Romantic era, there are so many different styles and so many different musicians that you can explore and listen to that could move you emotionally, right? Well, how come you don't listen to them? What is the reason to that?
Actually, I do. I do listen to them. It is not like not listening to them at all. Yeah.
But is it rarely or something? What?
Yeah,
Is it occasionally?
Yeah, it is rarely. It used to be more often, but nowadays, yeah, it's more rarely. I mostly listen to rap these days. Not the type that I'm cool, I'm better, I'm whatever.
I got Rolly on my wrist and stuff.
Not those type. For example, nowadays, we all have a little bit of sorrow for Iran and all those pains and stuff. and I'm these days listening exclusively to these raps that are talking about, you know, the whole
Situation.
the situation, you know,
Some in any way
Just-
they're protesting.
protesting. Yeah,
Right.
they somehow they calm me a little bit down. At the same time, energize me to say, okay, what the fuck?
Mm.
What the fuck is happening?
What the fuck is happening? Really? It's a horrible situation, for sure. This guy right over here,
Yeah.
he knows best, right? The most active of us.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't know this side of mine.
Dios. Fall on.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that I hate politics still. But
Fall on.
Full on. But I don't know, I think if I understand it, then I have the responsibility to help if I can. I don't know. Do you remember you called me, Al?
When?
Like a month ago, you called me and you told me,
About the beating.
yeah.
Oh my god, Jesus, tell me about it.
Yeah, he called me and he told me, dude, be careful. Some people are,
Mommy
Yeah.
knows about him.
yeah, some people are
What
being.
happened to the guy exactly? Do you know what happened?
Yeah, it was late at night. He was an activist.
Mhm.
So, actually, her sister's more actively, you know, working as a leader in Iran
What
for
Like-
protest.
was his sister active on social media?
No,
or
on the
news?
street.
On the street.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was
Damn,
leader.
old. Oh,
Yeah, she
old
was a-
school OG.
She was leading people towards, you know, the important
in,
places.
in Ankara.
No, in Tehran.
In Tehran.
Yeah, and he was supporting
he was
her.
in Ankara.
Yeah, he was in Ankara,
Mm.
and he was supporting her, and he was having these stories, and he had I don't know, I don't know, he had these followers. I don't know, I think something around 100K.
Whoa.
And
100K?
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
less
almost-
than that.
Almost about the same amount of followers that you have, Al.
About what?
It's almost about the same amount of followers that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
100K's minus
yeah.
3 zeros.
Late at night, he wanted to get out of the house, you know, get and buy something. I don't know what.
Mhm.
So naturally, he went to the gas station,
Mhm.
the gas station market, and he bought something, and
Mhm.
he went on his way back to
Home.
his house.
Mhm.
They came in front of their
Crossed the
in
guy
front of
and-
his car and beat him. You know, basically got
Drive
out of the
by.
car and tried to beat him.
Mhm.
There were four people. One of them was Persian. The three others were Turkish, or at least they talked
In Turkish.
In Turkish, yeah. And yeah, I cannot recall what exactly they said, but they were trying to
Intimidate
him, yeah, to not to continue, and he beat one of them in the balls, and he ran to his car and got away.
You hit them in the balls.
Yeah, that's
So-
the best way you
Oh
can
my-
run. Yeah,
Back at you, Amir.
I remember something about China, Jeffy, after Nari or cheese. I can't remember which
I think
song.
it was after Neri.
Mama,
I-
nobody, Nari.
I think it was after Nari that he was scared as shit. Because from Iran, people used to send like messages
Yeah.
and saying that we will kill you, fuck you, motherfucker, blah blah blah
it's-
blah.
it's in his
And
documentary.
yeah, and for a while I experienced it. Like I think it was the last month. I think I used over 70% of my salary just for taxi because I was scared of streets at night because I used to come back home late, like after 10, 11 p.m. So I
A lot of cash.
spent a lot of money on taxis because I was scared of walking home,
Wow.
especially after you called me because I had it. And I had another friend who told me also be careful at night,
Jesus
blah
Christ.
blah. Yeah, but then after that, I said, okay, I don't care about life. That doesn't matter if they want to kill me. Let's
Leo
let them do it.
Tolstoy
Yeah.
on this thing.
Yeah, let them do it. I don't care. So I stopped using my money for a taxi,
You know,
and I paid back my debts.
Why do
to
you?
our
Go ahead.
to our surprise, actually, I think every person, every activist on the street has this revolution in the mind and this war with himself. Yeah, they're going to do this, do that.
Yeah, because
you
it
know,
is
and they
so
need to
easy
overcome
for
it
them
too.
to kill people.
No. Everyone who wants to get out of the house and be part of this revolution,
They have this
you know, have
paranoia.
this war in their head. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if? What
Yeah.
Man, by the way, like between the words, Arthur Schopenhauer, he has a like quote about this thing, like
About Iran's revolution.
nah.
Okay.
I need a cigarette.
Go on.
Like about the, let's just say, so-called new concept. Like you said, like bringing up the new concept. At first, everybody's going to like laugh at it. They're gonna be sarcastic about this thing.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the second step, everybody's
the
gonna confront with
so
it,
fucking
fight
famous.
against it, and as the third step is going to
Finally,
be like
they
be
will accept.
accepted as a like a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, like we are in the second step, so technically, like we might get this paranoia that this threat is going to happen to me. We might get this paranoia that I'm gonna get whacked in the middle of the street in a goddamn like nowhere. The dog even knows
And
me.
and it is
Like-
not an abnormal idea because like they've been executing lots of people every day in Iran, and we know them from the history for over 40 years, and they've done like how many children they've killed in
past.
Syria,
Oh yeah, sure.
in Iran, in Afghanistan. How much money they spent on terrorists in Middle East countries and even in European countries. Like for example, they're part of Ukraine and Russia's war. It's unbelievable, you motherfucker.
Being weaponized.
Like-
They're weaponizing Russia, basically, allegedly.
Technically, making a military army.
Yeah, I mean, that's what many say about them.
And
Uh,
then recently sending uranium to London, they found it out. They were sending it to some people in
Oh yeah, they have
London. I don't
undercovers.
understand
They
it. What
sent-
the
no,
fuck?
Many. They're like in the past couple of months, so many undercovers have been arrested throughout, like all over Europe, and all plus the UK. I haven't heard any about America, but Europe and the UK, like there have been a lot of undercovers from their side who've been arrested.
Now they had lots of levels. For example, Nyack in America. They changed the reality. They've done lots of things. And I believe we will see the reality. We will be noticed about the reality really soon, very soon. We know we like the reality of IRGC. IRGC. We know nothing about them. They've hidden everything.
What does IRGC stand for?
Islamic Republic, Guard, blah blah. I don't know. I can't remember. Can't. Yeah, we know nothing about them actually. They've hidden everything, and
I have a question for you. Why do you think you have been more active than the three of us on social media about this? Way more than me. Well, 100% more than me. 85 to 90% more than Al. I don't know how much more than Mohammed, but maybe around 90% more than Mohammed.
Mohammed changed his username in Instagram from Mohammed Khudadadi to anti-oppression Iran.
Yeah. Yeah, I
can
archived all my personal photos because I had it with other people who are still
Man,
in
be
Iran.
careful. They're going to back us.
And
After this
storing
podcast,
the
I'm-
shit,
yeah, I
but-
told him to don't sit at the window. They may come and kill you by gun.
Yeah, snipe you
They
down.
might mistake
Pow.
me with it. No, we're safe.
Flash news. News flash.
But so you are active as well, then.
I am, but I don't know to which extent it is
I think
useful.
you're
It's,
to a great extent active as well.
I am, but
Anti-oppression.
it is only for 50 people.
Okay. 15 for you, around 1,000. Why? Why do you think you two are more active than the
Oh, first of all, you know that I'm not a nationalist person. Fuck the borders. I don't care if I'm Iranian.
Sure.
Like, if I am active, it's not because of Iran, like just for Iran. I believe without Islamic Republic, I believe without Khamenei, I believe without Sepah, we will have a better world. Uh,
Can I add something? Like, imagine this thing. Like, back in the time. Like, how old are you?
fuck you. 26.
26 years ago, your mom and your dad, like, they decided to have a child, and like added all those sperms, like one of them was you, and the possibility like came on, and like you were born, and in Iran, like, imagine, like, they decided to travel, like, I don't know, like abroad or something. You were born here, right? So all of them is a possibility over a possibility over a possibility, some coincidence after a coincidence. Like, technically, just like you said, it's not about the border, it's not about nationality, it's about the good and bad. Like, it's about like between living freely and like being massacred after like saying the truth. So like, this is what I wanted to add. Like, technically, like
What was the question?
clear
No,
out
there
the
was no
doubts that it is not about like this land. It is not like holding the slogan, yes, hashtag I am Iranian,
Yeah.
hashtag I care about Iran.
Yeah.
It's not about this.
So anyway,
So yeah, because I believe if we change this government, we will help the world. We will, like, I believe if we change Islamic Republic, if we take them down, then after Iran, in the queue we have Afghanistan, we have Iraq, we have Syria, we have Pakistan, we have Turkey for sure, and some these kind of countries, and then
Russia.
Russia will be down. Like, Putin is dying anyway. Fuck him. And the only country which is left is is North Korea.
North Korea,
I think
Jesus
I think
Christ.
it would
And
be
it will
better.
be-
Just put the microphone in your mouth and then cough. It would be way better.
And
Dude,
we will have a better world in all topics, in all different objective, subjective perspectives.
man, but till that time, like, our grandchildren will die. Like,
Doesn't matter.
takes time.
See, that's humans' problem.
Intention matters.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I told him thousands of times, if I die and by my death Iran will be free, I don't care. I'm not important on earth. With me or without me, this is the same. Okay, maybe my family will be sad, maybe
My friends.
my friends, maybe, okay, I may make more theaters, I may make some movies, blah blah blah, but we have like millions of theaters, plays, music, lots of things.
Yeah, it talks for all of us. Like, art is important, entertainment is important, but more than that, like we are talking about something vital. We
Yeah,
are
I
talking
do-
about life.
Yeah,
Like,
so
when your life is in a threat, you don't care about
do
art.
something and 200 years later people have a better life, I don't care. I'm not important. I'm not important at all. Like, it's been like 5 years. I've been trying to make a better world by educating people, telling the students without considering my ideology, telling them, please think, please do what you like. So I'm not important in this topic, in this part of
Field
the
or something.
story in field, whatever we are talking about.
But still,
I'm not important.
Still, why do you think you're more active than me and Al?
Because I like life. No. Why? First of all, you know me. Life is an experiment for me. So I didn't know that I can do something in politics. So I wanted to experiment it, and it worked. And this is the first reason. Second, I saw that the first days after revolution, we had lots of fake news.
Oh.
But
Fake announcement.
but I could understand it.
I know what that means.
I stopped sharing those kind of news. Then I saw something myself that, okay, so if I can do it, I have the responsibility to help. If I'm seeing the news, then I have to help. If I care about my sister, I have to help.
So once you know the thing, you're responsible for it.
For sure you are.
Is it about only revolution or about everything?
Everything. If I can help, I have to help.
That's what they say. Ignorance is a blessing.
Yeah, that's actually, again, I told Sam last year 1,000 times that I wish I were a fucking Bessie who married at the age of 18, 16, 12,
With
whatever.
Fatma,
And have some Syri wives.
8.
And 8, like each night I go to someone's house, I fuck that woman, girl, whatever.
And your kids.
I don't
Hassan,
understand,
Hassan
and
Ali.
each year I want to fuck myself for Hussein.
With a beard?
That would be heaven for me. I fuck everyone, and I believe that, okay, after death I'm going to heaven to fuck some virgin girls.
Yeah.
But we are not, sorry.
Knowledge is pain.
Knowledge is... Do you want to be stupid and happy? I prefer to be sad, but understand a bit.
And knowledgeable.
I'm not knowledgeable, I'm a fucking asshole. I'm
Man,
an idiot, but I
still-
want to understand. At least I
still-
try to do something.
Still,
Yeah.
we know some stuff. Like, I'm not saying like we are theologians over here, but still, we know more. And that is a
More
blessing
than
for
who,
itself.
less than who.
Yeah. Man, like, we are not trying to break down the world. Like,
Anyway, the point of this sentences is we are nothing. Anyway,
We are nothing,
What
Jesus, of
what is
course.
your reason? What is your reason for being active?
To be an activist.
For being active, yeah.
Being active.
Sure. I mean, if you want to say that you're an activist, sure, yeah,
I
for being an
am-
activist.
I don't know. 'Cause,
Technically, you are. Technically, you are, but
yeah.
but it depends on
we
how
always
you-
have word problems. Yeah.
Man, imagine, like,
You know, I'm
after work, you come home, you share some stories about, like, related, like, somehow, like, this revolution related.
You
I
know-
wanted to say something. I forgot.
I
will
might,
say it
like,
after a moment.
I think you have a purpose, right?
okay.
Okay. Like, however, your followers are, like, less than, let's just say, Amir over here, but you have a point to make. So what Sam is asking is literally that one. Like, why? Why are you doing this? What is your intention? What is the reason?
Okay, yeah. First of all, I believe in the success of this revolution to a point, at least in people's mind.
Mhm.
You know, at least they revolutionize the way they think about the government, the holy thing. Have you seen that comedy movie Interview?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
people
They
thought
go
that-
to North Korea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People literally
Yeah.
believe
Kim
that the Kim Jong or whatever
He
is
doesn't
a god.
poop, and he doesn't poop.
Yeah, he's a god. Yet actually,
Yeah.
we as a society
Crazy.
believe and respect imams, and in general, I'm not talking about this group,
Clergies.
imam, whatever. Yeah, and this calling this Khomeini Imam Khomeini is basically saying that he is holy and
Mhm.
you need to follow him and you
Mhm.
need to
Yeah, he's holy
yeah,
like
it-
W.
at least they're this revolutionizing the way people think about this person, how he's commanding to kill whatever comes to their on their way, and keeping this facade going,
Yeah.
as long as they can. And the other point is exactly that, I think it's a responsibility for whoever can do that. Yeah.
Man,
basically.
actually, there's something
But-
else.
Mhm.
Like,
about activists though, I think activists. This is, we always have war problems, but activist is somebody who at least, does it as a job.
That's in your eyes.
Yeah, in my eyes, someone who's an activist. Okay, he's an artist. He's I don't know, an engineer or whatever. For example, who do we have? We have Maz Jobrani. Okay, he's a comedian, but he has this
Became an
page.
activist.
Oh, yeah, he's activist.
Well,
He's doing at this.
He's influential at a great extent,
Yeah.
way greater than maybe you and Amir and all of us here. But still, both of you are activists.
Yeah, but you know, for example, you are using this your voice in your art to express your disbelief in this whole system, and he is doing that. But I'm just sharing the news
But
the
why?
best way I can.
Why are you doing that?
Why? Because people, we had other half revolutions before, and people after a while, including myself, forget that it has started and it is going on, and it's going on, and people forget all about it and think that it's done. Okay, they shut them out and whatever. But every day we receive videos from all over Iran about this going on and still being a matter in hand, and I just need to keep it on. Here there's still proof that they are going on, and please go to you go out. If I would be in Iran, I know that I would definitely go out and try my best, despite my despite the disbelief of my family, not actually caring about this matter. But right now, this is the only way I can be even a little bit part of this.
I see. Now, why do you think you and I are not that active?
Okay, before starting.
Oh, you
sorry,
wanted
that
to
question, I want
say something?
Yeah. Even if before this revolution.
But by the way, not to be the bearer of bad news. Sorry for saying it by the way on air. By the way, not to be the bearer of bad news, but technically this is not a revolution right now. It's a movement. A revolution is when it happens and when it changes. Right now, it's just a movement toward a revolution. But of course, it would be good for people. It would be good for people to call it a revolution because it gives them extra strength. Probably.
Yeah, this is one plus for that. But according to history,
It's not a coup for sure, but it's a like you said.
It's a movement.
It's a movement,
also
even
it is
more
not
powerful and highly
movement, it is-
inspirational.
I can call it in the best way pre-revolution.
Pre-real,
maybe, yeah.
post-real.
Because it is not like just protesting or such a thing. Everything is clear what people want, and in the country, out of the country, and see the results. Like we gathered all European countries together to think about it, to change their minds. We made America to change the politics because of people in Iran. So we did something. We made Elon Musk to send Starlink to Iran. So it is not just a movement or protest or such a thing. It is more than that. But I agree. It is not a revolution yet, but I can call it pre-revolution at least. And second, it is not just because of Iran. When you asked the question, I was thinking, and then I understand that even before revolution, a year before the revolution, because of the wars, you know me, I always had problem. Like one of the reasons that I can't accept there is a God, one of the reasons I can't accept religion, one of the reasons that I can't say Jesus or Muhammad or whatever, it's because we have some children in Africa. They are dying because of water. They're dying because of food. I had these problems in my mind, and the same thing made me to start a theater, which is Horses at the Window, which is about war. And then after that, revolution, pre-revolution, whatever happened, so I got more active. So I was active actually. I was trying to find a way. Yeah.
You wanted to always. Yeah,
I wanted to do something, but I couldn't find a way. But then, after a while, I started theater. After a while, for example, the idea of my YouTube, connecting people, different cultures, different languages together, to help. Like we have a problem in the countries, which is called media, and the governments. control
Is in
the
charge of
media.
it. Yeah.
So if we change it, if we make a better media for people, like instead of Nicki Minaj, if we have
Fucking
Fucking Nicki Minaj.
if
Art,
okay, if instead of
policy.
Nicki Minaj we have
Cardi B.
Edgar Allan Poe, if instead of Nicki Minaj we have Shakespeare, if
Banger.
instead of we have I don't know, whatever,
Sibelius.
we have Tolstoy,
Mauricio
if we have such a person, then the world will be different. But the problem is we don't know those people, so we have to try it. If I think people are listening to Nicki Minaj and it's a problem, then I have to change something because I understand there is a problem there. So when I understand, I have the responsibility to do something, even if I can't do anything, and my children, my student, my someone who is related to me, I can change his or her idea so that person may do something for the world. So it doesn't matter if I can't see a good peaceful earth, maybe my children can, then I've done my job. Why aren't you active?
Why do you think we're not that active?
Well, somehow.
Actually, Al wanted to be active. He was thinking about a short movie,
Yeah.
but then I changed his mind that it wasn't useful.
Yeah. It's not gonna make that much like an influence about this thing.
It was late, kind of.
It was kind of late, and
Yeah.
it was about the movement, and it was too surrealistic for, like, let's just say, for people to understand. It was something symbolic. Like what I use mostly in my paintings and my films is like symbols. Too much. Hands.
With 6 fingers.
Yeah. All right, with 6 fingers. Yes, you got it. All right. And one of the actual reasons that I want to like keep going on with this, let's just say, stream, is because of the art. Like, I live for this thing. This thing is like literally like a terminal disease in my like blood in my life. I cannot live without it, without art, like about whatever. And like, I don't know anything about politics. I just want to be honest about this thing. Like, but when I like see this thing, like when somehow we scrutinize that this whole stream is ruining art as well, is like silencing artists that we had. Like, given an example about Iran specifically, Samad Behrangi, Sadiq Hidayat, Ali Shariati's, or that Kurdish teacher like that got
I
assassinated.
don't care about Ali Shariati, but anyway.
Still, Ahmed Kesravi's. Like, about these people who got silenced, or many that we don't know. Or like that fucker, like Sadiq Khalkhali was about to ruin Persepolis.
Yeah.
And what was his reason? He said Zarathustra was not Muslim. That person lived, I don't know, like
2,500 years
2,000
ago. Even
fucking
more.
years, or
Even
even
more.
more before Islam.
Yeah.
What is your fucking purpose? Why would you do this thing? You're ruining history. You're ruining a country, a monument that is like standing for an empire which like had like 3/4 of the world,
Yeah,
of the known
Khalkhali
world.
was a person like Genghis Khan. It was clearly like we know that even Khamenei is not an Iranian person.
Is not Iraqi.
Like his parents,
somehow.
his parents were Iraqi, so he's not originally
Yeah.
Iranian. So Khalkhali was the same guy. He wanted to destroy Iran and bring something which is called Islam. So it was a problem. It was like very old, we can say, political problem between Iranian and Arabs back then. So we are not
Still,
talking about
yeah.
wisdom or such a thing. It was like hatred that Khalkhali wanted to destroy everything.
Still not about wisdom, man. That, let's just say, that so-called monument is not affecting you. It's not like doing anything with it. It's not fucking with you, so you don't fuck with it too.
No, actually, it was affecting them.
Like,
How? Because
How?
Iranian couldn't accept their Islam because of those histories. That's why they eliminated history of Iran, like Hachamanishan and whatever we had, from books. So at school, we didn't learn anything about our history.
we don't know anything, but
whatever we
we
learned,
know
it was
anything about Arabs. We
after
know
Khosrow
anything
Parviz,
about like, Like, have you ever heard about like a guy like Khalid ibn Walid? No. have you known like anything about like these things? But like if I ask you like Malik Ashtar or I don't know like somehow Abu Sufyan, we can even give the biography and the time that they shit.
And that's why after
This
lots
is
of things. Like for example,
disease.
we had the sports Chogan, we had Ibn Sina, we had Mevlana, we had Shams, and all of them.
Tell me
Actually,
about
they
them.
sold them, and also they sold some old things from our museums to Louvre in France, to London, and lots of yeah. So
A
they
lot of
sold
them.
everything because they wanted to delete the history of Iran. They wanted to say that okay, Iran started after Qajar, actually, or even a bit before that.
Safavidat.
As soon as the Islam came, as soon as the Islam showed up, that is your history. There is
Yeah.
no other kind of stories in your country. It wasn't real.
Yeah.
That's
That is
why
bad.
he wanted to
Even-
destroy everything.
Even if you
And just like again, I don't want to be nationalist. I don't want to be, let's just say, about like anything about Iran. Like considering a writer just like Samad Behrangi, all right? Let's call this person Iranian. Let's call this person who was born in the land of Iran and so-called Muslim. And he writes a book known as The Little Black Fish, right? Like all of us, we love that book. And
It's an international book, actually.
it
yeah.
is an international book, and like whomever I asked this book, they said like we read it and we loved it. It
Yeah.
was something like the Scott Fitzgerald's like not Great Gatsby. Like what was it? No, it wasn't like
You're talking about Little Prince?
yeah, Little Prince. Who was
Mhm.
it from?
I can't remember the author.
Little
Um,
Prince was
the
from.
guy was a pilot.
Yeah.
He lived in America.
Just a moment, please.
Um,
Just a moment.
mm,
Little Prince.
I'm checking.
he was French originally.
Anthony de Saint-Exupéry.
Yeah, it doesn't take Exupéry. It was from that guy. They said it is something like this, but because he was somehow contradicting with this ideology of like Islamics, they assassinated him. And still, after God knows, 100 years, 50 years, we don't know the cause of his death. For
Wait,
producing a piece of art.
what's the conspiracy theory about his death?
Go sit there.
What's that?
The conspiracy theory like is like he got like flooded in the like river. He was
They threw him in the
ill.
river.
Like I don't know, some other sources they say
There's no clear.
he was like shot and
So
like
no-
he sustained
wait,
injury.
His body was never found.
Yeah, somehow like that.
Diosun.
Yeah,
Tears.
and yeah, if it is about art,
And
if
also
it
we
is
had
about
like Farrokhzad.
Farrokhzad, Fourouk Farrokhzad.
No, Feridun Farrokhzad, how he was killed.
Fourouk Farrokhzad or Feridun.
Both actually.
Well,
Yeah.
Feridun was-
Both were killed.
Let me say it like this.
No,
Right
but-
now,
Both died in an accident, I think.
man,
Yeah.
think about
But
this.
what kind of accident?
I had a friend back. I had a friend back in the time. I still have that friend. And
Which
this,
time? Farrokhzad's time?
Oh my god, I'm using this thing a lot. I had a friend, and this person like had a tattoo. FF. I was
For
just like, for fuck for something like this. He said, no, that stands for Farrokhzad.
Farrokhzad.
And the other day, my girlfriend's like a friend, like sent me a text, and she was just like, "Is this correct in Persian?" I read it, and it was saying Fourouk Farrokhzad. I said, "Yeah. What do you need it for?" Like she said, "I want to get tattooed, like on this thing." Like okay, I'm not like somehow like a fan of like tattooing like everyone who are like on my ass, but still, they know this person. The quality of her voice, the quality of her work, like her pen, the way like she expresses everything, and they are killing these people. But
Hey,
when it is
she
about
was one of the first and most important feminists.
yeah, when it is about this thing, like it interests me too. I share about it, I talk about it, and like I would do anything in my power to somehow confront with this thing and like say this is not our right. A lot of artists have been silenced because of this thing. A
Yeah.
lot of people.
And it is not exaggerating. Like it is the same idea of talking Gandhi, for example. Like for example, if we are talking about Ferdowsi, it's like talking about Homer. If we are talking about Hafez, it's like talking about Shakespeare. We are not exaggerating. We have them, and we know them. But
Man, the
people
other
don't know
day I
them.
was listening to BBC podcast, like from Firdousi. Man, like they talk about Firdousi, man.
Yeah.
They say crazy shit about Firdousi that we still don't know.
Yeah, imagine they wanted to destroy everything, but still
They
there is a
sell
movie
Shahnameh
called
Ta-
Persepolis in France.
Yeah,
So
they
you
sell.
can't do it.
Man, they sell Shahnameh Tahmuasabi for 14.3 million or billion dollars or something like that for a number like this to other countries. But this book is somehow like the legacy that we still don't know about. And the first time I'm hearing, like, poor me, I'm hearing this name from a podcast which is not like belonging to us. More we are concerned about Nicki Minaj. Diyorum.
Oh my goodness, Nicki Minaj was one of the hot topics tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the name of the episode.
Yeah,
Nicki
yeah. I
Minaj.
was about to say this thing.
And by the way, we ask our guests to send us a picture
Oh yeah,
for each episode. So please choose a picture together.
it's gonna be the thumbnail.
And
of
please
this
don't send
episode.
us your girlfriend's pictures or such a thing.
Yeah, or your dick pics.
Yeah.
Um,
I got a good one actually.
We
of
can
Sam.
we can talk
bit
about
Oral
dicks,
part.
but we don't use the picture.
The one that you look like Arvo part. I'm gonna put that one.
Mohammed, I have a question specifically made for you. Crafted, carved, and prepared for you. I'll suck on the microphone. Al,
Okay, I need water.
do you think you're gonna? Wow, real word. Do you think you're gonna come back to this podcast and listen to yourself and be like, sorry, Mom, I'm gonna be back to, and gonna be like, holy shit, this fucking stupid piece of garbage. What are you talking about? Are you gonna come back at this podcast like this, or are you gonna be like, well, that's who I
Well,
was?
let me
and-
ask you something. Am I gonna be invited to the other episodes?
that's definitely one of the goals of ours. It's to definitely have people on again and again and again. So yeah, we definitely will have. Well, I hope you leave Mohammed as soon as possible. But I mean,
Yeah, man.
not from the since the listeners might not know the context, even if it's just one listener still. I mean leaving Turkey and Ankara and Turkey, but still, as long as you're here, I mean, sure, we will. I would definitely love to have both of you back again.
I'm gonna miss you, man. Jesus Christ. But this is gonna be a good memory, man. Like, do you remember about the podcast that I was telling you?
Yeah.
Right now, you're here, man.
What podcast?
Man, there was a back in the time I took a selfie. It was not a selfie. It was a screenshot. You and I were talking about like podcast.
You and I?
You and I, yes. We were talking about podcast, and you invited me that day, actually.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And Mohammed was like, "What's up?" I was just like, "Sam invited me to a podcast,"
Huh.
and right now we're here together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Happy birthday.
Mohammed, my
Do you wanna
question.
like sit on the couch?
I said happy birthday. It was important.
That is important.
Guys, I have an
Happy birthday.
Wow.
Say that again. I have
Happy birthday.
I have a question for Mohammed. Please.
Shut up.
How is your English so good?
How is what?
How is your English so good?
How is my English so good?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting your English to be so good. And plus, you said you were like bitching about your English not being good.
I
and
wasn't
being
bitching. I constantly
Mohammed is a modest
find
guy.
myself without words to explain something.
He has been very articulate and very well spoken
Do you
throughout.
want to go to your room and talk?
Like
throughout.
not speaking at all. That articulate.
No, you've
Yeah.
spoken a fair amount, and you've been really
Expressive,
well
actually.
spoken. I was not expecting your English to be so good, man.
I am
But
Vindo.
how? I mean, have you been practicing for the last? Is it too loud?
No,
What?
come closer.
Why?
Because I don't have your voice here clearly.
So
Then
we
why
could
are
hear you
pulling it
better.
anyway?
change the
Okay.
direction.
Okay. Have like, and you were busy with German and busy with studying and like preparing for school and all of that. So when did you have time to improve your English?
Actually, my English doesn't start from here. So me studying German has nothing to do with this, because
I'm listening, my lord.
yeah, the first time I started to learn English was maybe 10 years ago.
Wait.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Alles gut.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Alles gut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. So naturally, through listening to music and watching lots and lots of movie, But I still,
Who did you practice with? Who did you talk with?
myself.
Yourself only.
Schizophrenia.
For example, right now, from Turnilla
I know
to
English.
here,
No, I don't.
I put on my headphones and I talk to myself what I was going to do, for the bills and stuff like that in Germany and the whole, in English.
In English.
I'm going to, transfer to
German.
Deutsch,
Yeah,
German,
Deutsch. Yeah, sure.
as soon as possible. But yeah, for the time being, because from the beginning I had no one to practice it with, so I practiced it myself.
Wow.
No, this is
still I don't believe
before
it is.
that. This is before that, before SAT thing.
No, we didn't practice speaking at all.
Does it
We
feel?
didn't, man.
We only practiced when Jude came or the.
Is it weird for you two to speak English together? To speak English with each other?
Not really, because we had Jude for I don't know 2-3 months, and the only way we could communicate was
Yeah.
English. So it started there. It was very weird for me then, and I loved it. I loved it
You
because
loved the weirdness.
I think my English is rusty as hell. Because I
don't
constantly
agree with you.
Huh?
I don't agree with you.
Shut up.
No, I have lots of things here, and I cannot express them because I don't have enough words.
Isn't it normal?
It is actually.
It is normal.
No, I can't do it in Persian.
No,
I mean, it is normal.
Persian.
We think something in our minds, even in our mother tongue. But when we want to talk it in our tongue,
I mean,
Yeah.
no. I had a very long conversation with you the other day at your house from like 11 to 12 p.m.
even now it's been 2 hours.
It was
until.
we're talking Persian though.
Well, yes, that's what I'm gonna say. We talked in Farsi, and you, like, comparing that very long conversation that we had with the conversation that we've had here. You've been as good as you were that night in expressing your thoughts and your ideas and anything else, in between.
Right here, right now, at least I threw away 2 ideas, just because I cannot, put together the words. So yeah, that's what I'm not doing.
I see.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah.
I think it would be good to do you have any question, any specific question? Because I think I have just one more question that I'd like to ask both of them. I'd like to ask both of you. This is, I think, the first time. I don't know. I don't remember that I'm asking this question on the podcast. What is your aim / plan / goal for the next couple of years? What do you want to happen? What will you try? Well, what do you want to happen, and what do you think will happen?
Go nuts.
You go ahead.
Me?
Go ahead.
Alright. So somehow you know me enough, and I believe I gotta say it here again.
How long have we been friends, by the way?
What?
How long have we been friends, by the way?
Friends
long has it
or acquainted people?
Well, friends.
Friends, it's been something around
2 weeks.
not actually.
No, come on, it's not 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Dude, can't you see a sarcastic
Something
face?
around. No, I'm very serious as of this moment.
Be precise.
Chandler Pink.
Something around I believe 6 or 7 months. No, not 7 months actually.
7
6
months?
or 5 months, yeah.
Wow, it doesn't feel like 7 months.
It feels more?
It feels, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We go way back,
We
Back
go way
then.
back.
back
By
in the
way,
time,
I'll call you way back from now on.
way back.
Yeah, go way back. Come here.
Yeah. And yeah,
So go ahead. Yeah.
so somehow I'm like very interested in art, and like after a while, I decided it to be my path of memoir, my like way in life. Like even like a couple of times I talked to Amir and I said like back in
Back in the
the service that I had, military one, like I had this situation that I didn't want to go to military service, and somehow I had to because of the situation. But that was the like this abyss of the like a demoralization I had. I said, "That's it. I'm gonna like end up here. I'm gonna like be finished here." And this is not the thing that I want, because my plan was like to go to Turkey and start my like somehow aesthetic profession and education. So like I made a vow to myself. I said, so I have two choices. Either I'm gonna be here, do this military service for 2 years, or I'm gonna go out and service the whole world, or at least the people I know, the way that I know, like the way that I can, which is like throughout art. And my plan, I know that like I do. When I talk, I do. Like this is at least sure about myself. And about next 2 years, I know like Amir and I, we're gonna have some mutual and like a let's just say project for film festivals. First off is that one, and the other one is like for paintings, which I'm gonna go to like for some, let's just say, competitions and stuff, and is work more and more any like a single time that I have anything in my power, like to get better in art, like not necessarily for film. I love film. I literally like can't live without it, but like about all movements, all types of and kinds of art. I'm gonna do that one to be better than ever about this thing, and like this is the only thing that I want. Like technically, there's not a peak.
Acting or just directing?
Actually,
he did do acting in his latest film.
No,
right?
I mean generally. Do you
actually,
see yourself as an actor, director, or just director?
Actually, it's a good question. Like, at first I started with acting, and I was just like, I wanted to break it down. Like, what kind of actors do we have? Like, what is an actor? Like, technically, what kind of actors like are we watching? Like, and then when I made this thing academic, I chose to be a method actor, and acting
Which
includes.
I believe is the best one.
It is the best one. Like talking about some guys like Lee Strasberg, Stella Adler, Sanford Meisner, like Stanislavski and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
These are the guys that I follow. Or
Yeah,
Uta
they
Hagen.
created, actually. They
Chekhov.
were the creators, yeah.
Yeah. Like acting goes way back than directing in me, because right now I cannot like I gotta mention about this thing. I don't like adaptation that much, but I like creativity. I'm into creativity like so much. That is the reason I don't want to play in any other, like, let's just say, like previous scripts, scenarios. I want something new. For example, if you come up with a, like, let's just say play that you say like, I wrote this thing, this is my character, I would like deeply be like interested in it and make that character for you. Even if it is like playing with my life. For example, if that guy is like 80 kilograms, I will be 80 kilograms for you. 100 kilograms, I would be 40 kilograms. I would do that for you. A psychopath, I would be a psychopath, because I love this.
But about that point, we have some theaters, we have some movies, we have something that they've been written by some people,
Yeah.
but still we don't have a good performance of them. That's why sometimes I want, like for example, we have my favorite play, as everyone knows, Panda Birds, a story told by a saxophonist who had a girlfriend in Frankfurt. For me, it's masterpiece. Like, I don't like Hamlet as much as I like this play, and we haven't had a good performance of it. Like for example, Horses at the Window. I checked everywhere. Even I talked with Matej Wiśniewski, and I couldn't find something that I liked. So I decided to make this theater. And we have the same thing for lots of other, like for example, okay, for Hamlet, for Macbeth, for
Those are famous ones, of course.
there,
There
yeah.
are good performances.
we have at least one acceptable good performance.
Yeah.
But there are lots of plays that they are not good. We don't have any good performances. That's why I also do like to work on some plays, some scripts, which has been written by other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, just like you said, like finding out the best performance is somehow a silly thing to do. Because, like, okay, talking about like Lawrence Oliver's performance on like I don't know, it was Macbeth or Hamlet. Yeah, Hamlet. Yeah. Like, literally, a lot of people say that this is the best. Like, no one can exceed this. Or like the other one, like Charles Lawton. Charles Lawton's like a loose play was, I don't know, like something like that. It was the best because this guy is a god in acting. But still, we don't know if it is the best or not. To what extent?
Now it's your choice to prove that, okay, I can be better.
Yeah.
Or no, that one is good
Needs
enough
a
for
deep
people and it says the
understanding.
point.
Yeah.
So I want to do something to help again people or say another point.
Yeah.
Or again, I want to add some more creativity, or I want to do the same kind of a creativity or same amount of creativity and do it better.
Yeah.
So I prefer the other one. I want to do something creative.
That is, yeah, actually one of the, like, let's just say, inspirations that I had. And about the filmmaking is like if I'm gonna do this professionally, I'm not gonna start directing earlier than my like 30s or like 40s or something, because I need more for directing. Like, it's not only about the director itself. It's not only about the artist itself. I respect the audience. Okay, doesn't matter if it is just one audience or like 300 like million, because these people are gonna dedicate their time to watch like this masterpiece,
Dedicate
their lives, or dedicate like whatever to this masterpiece or the bullshit that I make.
That's my idea about writing. I
Yeah.
don't want to write unless I'm at least 30, for example.
Make something with value.
Yeah.
That is like one of the reasons that I want to read about anything. Just like who else said this? Like Werner Herzog. The guy is like a filmmaking mogul. It's a fucking tycoon. Or Bellatar, my idols. So like they said a lot of like these things. Like, it's a good point. They somehow like contradict with like film schools, but yeah, they somehow contradict with film schools. At the same time, they say we need creativity. They learned everything, just like you said, in the street. They learned everything from real life. Like, they asked Michael Chekhov, like, what is the best acting school? They said, you just got to go to like a street, watch people behaving to each other.
Yeah.
That's it. That is the best and school that you can have. So I'm doing it. And I got results out of it. Like, acting is the first thing that I want to do. And after that, like directing. And the last step is screenplay writing. So there is no, let's just say, limit. There is no ending point that I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to reach at this point. I'm going to get an Oscar. Fuck Oscar. I don't care about these things.
Oscar Peterson?
Yeah, Oscar Peterson. I'm going to reach at this point and I'm going to stop it. No. Till the moment that I'm breathing, I'm going to do this thing. And collaboration with people who have vision, who have, like, I care about this word a lot. Vision. Not passion. Vision. I want to like work with these people. Like this is one of the reasons that I got interested in Sam. Like first we talked about like art, like somehow like he was not narrating all of the things that he read in the books. Like I felt like I'm gonna see one of those guys. Yeah, I'm interested in like piano. I play like Saragallon or something else, something bullshit like this. But deep down, he has a vision in himself. He feels them. Till the moment that I saw him first playing the piano, like I don't exactly remember. He was playing Nocturne from like Chopin or something. But the moment that he was like a whatever you say, like
Back to the time, probably he was.
yeah.
Back in the time he was.
He was like pushing the buttons or something, like playing with the
Keys.
keys. Yeah, pushing the keys. Like he literally was living with that thing. That was the reason for his happiness. Like the next key was going to like be played after the other one was the moment that he was getting happier. Like because the first time that I saw Sam, he was the like saddest guy on earth, but that was the happiest moment, and I respect that. I love that, and I would praise that. Like I would want to see that, or you, actually. Like first time that I saw you, like you took shit in my mouth, so like like sarcastically, I was just like, Jesus Christ.
What happened? I don't remember the first times.
Yeah, first time. It was just like I don't know, like we were talking about something, and again, you told me like happy birthday. I was like, fuck is this guy saying? Is he like busting my balls over here? Happy birthday to you, asshole. You want to talk? Let's go like in the street. And I was just like, okay, I am talking so like let's just say on the compliment with this guy. I am so formal with him, and he's just like doing this thing. But till the moment first I came to the like stage that you were playing with the guys, and the moment that I saw you so serious about this like play that you have, Horses at the Window, like directing, managing everyone with passion, with like a vision, this envisage of success that you had, interested me. Or even Muhammad, like
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali. Yeah. Like this guy, like he's one of the happiest guys I've ever seen. He's always been a good inspiration.
Oh, he is.
And one of the nicest fucking guys I've ever seen in my life. I'm not coming from a good place, but again, like he's one of the best, like literally. But the time that he's talking about like technology, which I don't understand shit about, it's all fucking French to me. It's all fucking Greek to me. I don't know anything. I'm just like, yeah. I'm literally like this. But the moment he talks, like just to see that like happiness, that joy in his eyes, I would ask more questions. I'm gonna make it stupid out of myself, but I'm gonna ask more questions to hear that, to make him happy while we're talking about this. That yeah, I care about this. I care about you. I care to see your happiness, and I want to see your success. And tomorrow, that the thing that you're like thinking about is going to be in your hand. Like, yeah, all four of us over here, and we all have a vision. We don't necessarily need to be an artist. And Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Thank you.
Well said. Well said. What about you, Muhammad?
Do you want to go to your room and talk?
What about you, Muhammad?
He said.
What about me? What?
Wait, you guys can't hear me right now?
No.
Nah.
Nah.
Fall on.
Really? You can't. What about now? Can you hear me now?
Oh my
No, we can't.
God.
How is my voice now?
Deep.
Go for it.
Yeah. What about what?
What about
The main question that I asked about 2.5 hours ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Ouch. Happy birthday to me, I believe.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it was too long ago. Actually, my vision for future.
Well, your future.
2 years.
Yeah. What? No, I wouldn't. Any couple of years, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever.
6, 7, 8, 9. Doesn't matter.
Actually, I have two types of aims in my life, goals. I have short terms and short time,
Mm-hmm.
and I have long terms, which I'm trying to get to with this little by little steps. You know, for right now, my short term goal will be get to Germany, and after finishing college, go to a big city.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily big city,
Big
the
meaning
cities
like
which have the most biggest
Metropolitan area somehow.
no, that's I think what he doesn't want to do.
biggest tech companies like
Okay.
Hanover,
Uh-huh.
like Berlin, like what was the other? Hamburg.
Mm-hmm.
These three cities have the most the biggest tech companies like Google and Apple
Mm-hmm.
headquarters, and that will be the short term,
Mm-hmm.
in the 3 years, and for long term, my goal, hopefully is to get to
I'm listening, by the way.
sure get to a point that I get recruited in a big company, so I could figure out the whole ways around it. Not even necessarily big, even in a startup will do, to get to the point that I think I'm capable of managing one. I'm capable of starting one,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have fucking a hell of a lot of ideas
Mm-hmm.
for both hardware companies and software. And then after I figure out the way around it, basically, the way to work with it, I'd be able to. I imagine I'd be able to start my own company. That's the dream. That's the long-term purpose. Long-term goal to achieve. But yeah.
How serious are you about this? About the last part that you mentioned.
Actually, the thing about the smaller goals, the baby steps that I'm taking towards that, I'm not that serious about those because they could change dynamic. I need to be dynamic. I could go to Hanover and be successful. Otherwise, okay, I can go to Frankfurt or Munich and be far more successful. I need to be dynamic with those smaller goals, but for that long term, that's the whole purpose of me. That's the whole purpose I'm doing this. I could be far more convenient in Iran, conveying to the rules of my little society, my family, and accepting my father's offer to learn something about road engineering and buildings and stuff, and get to that job. Far more easier and far more convenient. But I took this upon myself to get there. That's the whole purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is there any special field in technology that you want to work on?
Any specific? Yeah. Actually, right now these days, AI is taking away, and yeah, that's the most interesting part for me. Machine learning, and
AI these days.
Yeah.
AI these days in technology is like a naked, beautiful girl in a forest. Even I'm thinking about starting. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Actually, Mohammed, I ask you this question a lot.
Do you have sex with AI?
Why are you gay? Imagine inviting, take this out of context. Imagine somehow inviting a guy to a podcast, and this is the first question that you ask. Hello, would
Why
you
are
have
you
sex
gay?
with
Would you have sex with it?
AI?
Actually, there's you can
Actually, I've done it 3 times.
Back in the
sex
time.
chat with an AI, theoretically.
Sex chat.
Yeah.
Wow.
They
Is
are.
it chat GPT?
No.
Or-
I don't
Sex
think
chat with AI?
so. Yeah, but yeah, who does that?
Whore.
Actually, you said that. Are you gay? Do you imagine AI to be a girl, or how do you gender
Well, I
that
don't
thing?
know. Like, I don't do technology, so
How do you genderize it, right?
You know, for example, Siri.
before starting with it,
No, Siri started as a woman's voice. Now there are thousands of voices and thousands of
Different
not thousands.
accents
Like-
and different languages.
Yeah, even in different languages, we have boys and girls and different accents,
Yeah.
different tones.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, AI doesn't have gender.
hey Siri,
Uh,
white man, how can I help you?
And I love Siri.
Well,
Man, my Siri doesn't
So-
work. Look at it.
If
Hey
we,
Siri.
if we have the AI on Siri voice, I will be the first person who will have sex with AI. I love Siri. I'm in love with Siri.
Have you guys watched the movie Her?
Her, yeah.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix
One
one,
ex-
right?
yeah, exactly.
He has basically indirect sex.
That would-
with a
So
AI.
you would be the second
Mental orgasm.
No,
You
well,
would be the
the
second one.
AI. Look,
If
the-
Siri existed.
that compute that what do you call it? What would you call it? The what is it? Was it like a program or
Human
like
robot.
the girl who was basically an AI. It was basically based on artificial intelligence. So she basically manipulates a girl and talks her into having sex with Joaquin Phoenix in the movie, right? Not in real life, in the movie, and that's indirect. I mean, you're not actually having sex with the AI, but you're having sex with another person. It's just the voice of the AI and stuff like that would be on. It was a very sad movie, by the way, that film. It was a very sad film. Nothing too great about it, except acting was good and the idea was nice, and it was kind of sad for me. But
Okay, we didn't let him talk.
yeah.
AI, you were saying.
Yeah. The whole thing about AI in my mind is one of the best ways to preserve knowledge. You know, people who, a person's life is limited,
Mm-hmm.
but if their mind could be captured and work as an AI, and through the time, I think we can push the pedal on humans, whatever, result. Humans either a burst of, I don't know, becoming a god or dying out.
Do you believe in?
I want to push the pedal, push the technology.
Do you believe in like? Do you want to create a knowledgeable AI?
You
Do
mean
I want to, I think this word explains it all. I want to push the pedal.
Okay, but isn't it dangerous?
It is, but if
So
you're
you
going
are
to
the
get there
guy
anyway, why
who
don't get it? What?
So you are going to be the guy who is going to fuck all the humans and bring the robots instead.
I'll try my best. Yeah.
what was the word for it? Conscient. I think the word was conscient. If I'm not mistaken.
Break it down for me. Dumb
well,
it down. What is it?
Yeah. So the word is conscient. Oh my goodness, I don't remember how it was pronounced. So conscient basically means being alert and awake. So AI, they say, is not conscient. But the question is, can AI become conscient one day? Conscient. Okay. Yeah. Do you think AI could one day become? Should I go to the room and say things? Do you think AI one day will become conscient and
Dumb it down some more. You'll
Well,
get your answer.
become basically will have emotions?
I think they can mimic an
Emotions.
Mimicking is different,
you
but,
know,
having full
That's not my point.
human-like.
Yeah. I get your question. In my goal and my in the goal that I had. I
I'm sorry,
don't care about
sentience. By the way, the word was not conscience; it was sentient,
sentient.
meaning having.
Yeah,
Feelings and
now I
emotions,
get it.
Be precise.
Now I get it. Yeah, sentient. Actually, in my goal, I think they actually they are mimicking right now
Mm-hmm.
the emotions. because they're studying emotions online on their own right now, and actually they have created this language in between them, and they have written poems.
Wow.
So yeah, they will be capable of mimicking that, but having it, I don't know. I actually love the bicentennial.
Maybe
Robot
we can say
film.
it in another
Yeah.
word. AIs are experiencing humans' emotions, feelings. So by those experiencing,
They learn.
yeah, they learn how to use them for different purposes. Actually, it is the same thing that we've done in evolution. Like we didn't know what is anger, sadness, and blah blah. By the
How do
time
we show it? We know how to be angry. We don't know how to show it, and this is international language between us. Actually, the first thing I realized in this podcast is that the first moment we sat here, okay, we had this silent language in between us. Okay, give me the cigarette, give me the lighter, give me. We have this, and I've tried it with Turkish people and with German people so far, and it works. So we have some default things, and they say that the movement of nodding our head it comes from our mother's breast. When we're done with the milk, we do this to get rid of the nipple. So yeah, I'm not talking about the base of it, where it originally came from, but yeah, we have that. How to show it, we learned that, but about the feeling, AI,
Okay.
that part, feeling angry, wanting to kick somebody.
about that one, body language in different countries is different.
Yeah,
So in one
I'm not talking
country,
about this.
yeah, and
This-
also in different generations is different too. Like for example, in we are the, I'm sorry, but we are the old generation now. So in our generation, we used to show telephone, like Ronaldinho, for talking, but since children
Oh yeah, they
after
show different.
2000 2010 they haven't seen those kind of telephones, so they saw the telephone like
Yeah.
mobile phone.
Yeah. Like
So the
a
body
normal-
language is different. So why? Because the experience is different. That's what I'm talking about. So their experience. I wanted to say that like now people, humans, have more complicated kind of emotions and feelings. Like for example, anger and sadness. What probably we didn't have it like million years ago. So we created those emotions according
And used
to the environment. Yeah.
Yeah, so in that sense, yeah, they could show. or mimic
At least
it.
they can fake it
Yeah,
by
mimic
experience.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But in the sense of that pushing the limits of technology and making this making this invincible I don't know scientists out of
Machines.
no out of the knowledge what's the word out of knowledge that they got from humans, scientists that will one day die, they get that they are invincible, of course, so they push it to the limit, and they are and there is a theory that everything has their lifespan. Like we have sparrow, even sparrow has a lifespan, everything. That could mean that AI needs to get refreshed by new hardware, but essentially that doesn't mean it is going to die any day soon. So I think that could push the limits, and in this matter, I don't think that mimicking emotions is anything to be concerned with.
And also there is another theory that, for example, we can use human brains with AI. So like we are living because of our brains. Okay, heart is important, blood is important, everything is important, but actually we are living because of our brains. We are different from other animals because of our brains. So we may use our brains on a robot so we can control everything, and that limited life will be different.
Immortalized somehow.
Yeah.
That is scary.
That is scary.
Thanks.
Imagine Hitler or Khomeini won't
Jesus
die.
fucking Christ. Genghis Khan.
Yeah, imagine.
Man,
But
imagine
at the same time, we have Albert Einstein. We have.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Well, also,
Ach so I
Ach,
think
what?
we have forgotten to say the date. I'm going to say that it's the first episode of 2023.
oh yeah, it's first
13th of January 2023, and now it's
New Year premiere.
2:36, and we are. If
Wait.
you want to say goodbye.
Oh yeah, is there anything that you would like to add as the ending?
Let me do Ali's. Be visionary.
Well, actually, I don't know about that thing and all the topics that we had, but I know, sure as shit, this is gonna be a good memory. Like one day we're gonna remember this thing.
Oh.
All four of us at a table talking about different stuff.
Yeah.
And so yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Al, thank you for coming late tonight, by the way.
Okay.
I really had fun. Yeah. Seriously, it was a really good movie.
No, yeah, I really enjoyed listening. Like, we goof around a lot, and we joke around a lot, and a lot of the times, like with Al, for instance, with Al, for instance, like he might sit down and talk very seriously for maybe 20-30 minutes, and I'm just not in the mood. Or vice versa. I mean, let's say 95% of the times I'm the one who tries to talk and Al's not listening.
Busy with the
phone.
with the phone.
But now we had the opportunity to be able to just sit down and talk. And it was nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So it takes a microphone and two other guys to
I guess
take your
I'll just carry it with me.
I
from
cannot
now
hear
on.
you. I literally cannot hear you.
Okay, yeah.
I can hear
Sure.
you.
Go on.
Go for it.
Okay. And we are off.